We will start with constitutional bodies very quickly. So today I am going to discuss about constitutional bodies. It's about Election Commission, Union Public Service Commission, Finance Commission, Attorney General of India, Advocate General of State. So most important constitutional bodies we will be discussing, and parallelly we will also do some of the MCQs. So first coming to the Election Commission of India. Election Commission of India is a constitutional body, independent body, autonomous body, which is mentioned in the Constitution of India. The major function of the Election Commission is conducting of elections, registering of political parties. And what are the powers and functions of Election Commission? How many members are there in the Election Commission? How the decisions are taken in Election Commission? What are the powers, functions and removal procedure of Election Commission? What is the appointment procedure of Election Commission? We will be discussing now. So first coming to the Election Commission, it is a permanent body. It's a permanent constitutional body. An independent body. A permanent and independent body established by Constitution to ensure free and fair elections. So the major duty of the Election Commission, which was been envisaged by the founding members of the Constitution of India, is conducting of elections. So composition, Article 324 of the Constitution deals about, Article 324 of the Constitution talks about Election Commission of India. Provisions regarding composition of Election Commission. Election Commission shall consist of an Election Commissioner, Chief Election Commissioner and 2 Election Commissioners. Overall it is a 3-member body. All the decisions with respect to Election Commission is taken based upon the majority of the decision. It is not the Chief Election Commissioner, the decision is final. No. If any decision they are going to take in the Election Commission office, Chief Election Commissioner with 2 other Election Commissioners, they will be sitting together based upon the majority, based upon the consensus. The decision will be taken in Chief Election Commission office or Election Commission office. Chief Election Commissioner and such number of other Election Commissioners, but as of now only 2 Election Commissioners are there. If any, as the President may from time to time fix, this is also important. So number of Election Commissioner who is going to fix means President of India is going to fix. Who is going to fix the number of Election Commissioners? Parliament, President, Supreme Court of India or Prime Minister? It is the President who is going to fix the number of Election Commissioners, not by the Parliament but by the President of India. The appointment of the Chief Election Commissioner and other Election Commissioners shall be made by the President. So President will be making the appointment of the Chief Election Commissioner and other Election Commissioners of the Government of India. When any other Election Commissioner is also appointed, the Chief Election Commissioner shall act as the Chairman of the Election Commission. Earlier what happened? There is only one particular Election Commissioner was been there. But if any other Election Commissioner will be appointed, then one Election Commissioner will be acting like a Chief Election Commissioner. One Election Commissioner will be acting as Chief Election Commissioner. If only single member body, why? Because in the history of Election Commission, we have single member Election Commission is there, multi-member Election Commission is there. Now we have multi-member commission body, multi-member Election Commission body, 2 Election Commissioners and 1 Chief Election Commissioner. But earlier we used to have only 1 Election Commissioner. So if more than 1 Election Commissioner is there, that one person in that group, 1 person will be designated as Chief Election Commissioner. Higher among the equals. The President may also appoint, after consultation with the Election Commission, such regional commissioners as he may consider necessary against assist the Election Commission. Means at the state level there will be a Chief Electoral Officer or regional election commissioners. So those state Chief Electoral Officers or regional election commissioners, if they are, then they will be appointed by the President only after consulting with the Election Commission of India. Only after consulting with the Election Commission of India, the Chief Electoral Officer will be appointed by the President of India. The President may also appoint, after consultation with the Election Commission, such regional commissioners as may consider necessary to assist the Election Commissioner. Chief Electoral Officer means I am talking about the regional commissioners. So if there is any regional commissioners, means for South region, if there is any Election Commission, regional commissioner, Northern Regional Commissioner, Western Regional Commissioner, Northern Regional Commissioner. So If there is any regional commissioner for the election commission, that regional commissioner will be appointed by the president. The conditions of service and tenure of office of the election commission and the regional commissioner shall be determined by the president. The regional commissioners or the works, the functions of the election commission, the powers and the functions of the election commissioners will be designated by the president. The president will be fixing what are the conditions of service, what are the rules and regulations need to be followed by the election commission. Since its inception in 1950 until 15th October 1989, Election Commission functioned as a single member body consisting of the Chief Election Commissioner, only single member body till 1989. Then after 1989, it became multi-member body. On 16th October 1989, President appointed 2 more election commissioners, and to cope up with the increased work of election commission on account of lowering of the voting age from 21 to 28 because of the work burden, multi-member body was been made. Multi-member election commission body was been made. So beginning from its inception, it is a single member body, but from 16th October 1989, it became multi-member body. Then after that, thereafter election commission functioned as a multi-member body with 3 election commissioners. January 1990, 2 posts of election commissioners were abolished and election commission was reverted to the earlier position. Again in October 1993, it has been fixed. So, inception single member body, 1989 multi-member body, again 1990 single member body, and 1993 it became multi-member body. It became multi-member body. So in this particular time period of 1990 to 1993, the great personality of the election commission called as T.N. Seshan, who reformed the election commission of India, who reformed the voting pattern, who reformed the election procedure in India is T.N. Seshan. That person was been the chief election commissioner of India in this particular time period of 1990 to 1993. President appointed 2 more election commissioners. Since then till date, we are having election commission as a multi-member body. Election commission as multi-member body. The election commission has been with 3 election commissioners. The chief election commissioner and 2 other election commissioners have equal powers and receive equal salary, allowances and other prerequisites which are similar to those of Supreme Court judge. This is very important. The salaries, the allowances, the prerequisites, the privileges which are enjoyed by the election commissioners and the chief election commissioner will be equal to the Supreme Court judge. Prelims point of view, very important. The election commissioner will be having the privileges equal to the level of Supreme Court judge. Equal to the level of Supreme Court judge. In case of difference of opinion among the chief election commissioner and 2 other election commissioners, the matter is decided by the commission by majority. The matter is decided by the majority. So, the majority decision will be final. The consensus will be final. The majority decision will be final. The consensus will be final. They hold office for a term of 6 years or until they attain the age of 65 years. So 65 years is a retirement age, whichever is first. So 6 years tenure, 65 years. 6 years tenure, 65 years is the retirement, whichever is earlier. And the conditions of service is equivalent to the Supreme Court judge. Is equivalent to the Supreme Court judge. Recently what happened? Information Commission of India, Central Information Commission of India was being changed by an amendment made to Right to Information Act. Right to Information Act was been amended in 2019, by which the conditions of service and powers of the information commissioners has been changed. Earlier, the information commissioners' conditions of service was been equivalent to election commission, and equally election commission is equivalent to Supreme Court judge, because of which this central information commissioners were been equivalent to Supreme Court judge. So that particular clause was been removed by the central government by the parliamentary procedure. The right to information was been amended, by which the chief information commissioner office was been made toothless, without any power. Powerless it was been made. So prelims point of view, we can guess this question. So which body was been amended so that they were been enjoying the position of an election commission of India? Which is that body? Information Commissioner. Central Information Commission. Independence. So, Article 324 of the Constitution also speaks about the independence of the Election Commission. Independence of the Election Commission. Why I am telling Election Commission has independence? Because of this following factors. What are the following factors? Is security of tenure is provided. He cannot be removed from his office except in the same manner and the same grounds of Supreme Court judge. Means how Supreme Court judge is removed? Supreme Court judge is removed in the procedure of an impeachment procedure. So if we want to remove the Election Commission also, we need to follow what? Impeachment procedure. Impeachment procedure is very tough procedure. 2/3 of the members and present and voting in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, with 100 members supporting the resolution for the removal of the Supreme Court judge in the Lok Sabha and 50 members supporting the resolution in the Rajya Sabha. And a Supreme Court judge inquiry committee will be constituted, and this inquiry committee will be giving the report. Based upon the report, it will be submitted in the parliament. Based upon the report, the voting will happen. If it is passed by the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, by the absolute majority, special majority, not absolute, by special majority, the Supreme Court judge will be removed. In the same way, Election Commissioner will be removed. So the task itself, very tough task to remove the Election Commissioner, which means independence. He is enjoying the independence. Number 2, the service conditions of the Chief Election Commissioner cannot be varied for his disadvantage after his appointment. Once he is appointed, his service conditions, his rules will not be varied for his disadvantage. For example, up to now he is enjoying the powers. Suddenly our enemy, long back enemy, became the Chief Election Commissioner. I am the government. Now I cannot remove his powers. For his disadvantage. So what is continuing, the same will be continued. So he is independent. Next. Any other election commissioner or regional commissioner cannot be removed from office except on the recommendation of the Chief Election Commissioner. Again, other 2 election commissioners, or if any regional commissioners are there, any 2 election commissioners or any other regional commissioners are there, for their removal, compulsory, we want the Chief Election Commissioner's approval. So why the Chief Election Commissioner will give his approval for any illegal or wrong things, for wrong intention? No. So because of these 3 aspects, we are telling that Election Commission is independent. But however, there are some flaws. There are some negatives. What are the negatives? Number 1, though the Constitution has sought to safeguard and ensure the independence and impartiality of the Election Commission, some flaws are there. Some errors are there. Some errors are there. What are those errors? What are those flaws? Number 1, Constitution has not prescribed the qualifications. No specific qualifications are there. So what will happen? The government might appoint any person as election commissioners. So the government whom they can appoint, who is very close to him. So there might be favoritism. There might be biased decision. My own party person can be appointed as a Chief Election Commissioner or Election Commissioner. So that can misuse the independence of Election Commission. That is what. So prescribed qualification is not mentioned by the Constitution of India. Hence it can be misused at the time of appointment. It can be misused at the time of appointment when I am unfit for everything. If I am unfit for anything, but I know the Council of Minister. One minister is my friend, he took me and appointed as election commissioner there, whether I will be loyal to that particular minister or not. Loyal to the minister means loyal to the government. So whatever I am doing, I will be doing according to the whims and fancies of the government. So where there is independence of election commission, the election commission is compromised now. Election commission is compromised. So there is no prescribed qualification, it is itself a compromise for independence. First. Number 2. Constitution has not specified the term of members of the Election Commission. No fixed. Yes. Next. The Constitution has not debarred the retiring Election Commissioner from any further appointment by the government. The Constitution has not debarred from the retiring Election Commissioners from appointment into no posts, from appointment into new posts. So what will happen? At the time of my retirement, I will be very, very loyal to the government. I will be very, very loyal to the powerful people. So what will happen after my retirement? I will become jobless. So he will give some other retire. So he will give some other job. So what I will do when I am in power? I will be doing everything which is advantageous to that particular government or advantageous to that particular person. For example, what happened to the Ranjan Gogoi, who was been retired as a Supreme Court judge? He became now Rajya Sabha member. So there should be a strict regulations. There should not be any appointment after the retirements, not into the Lok Sabha, not into the Rajya Sabha or into any of the constitutional bodies or non-constitutional bodies. If such rigid systems are there, I will be acting independent. Why? Because I know that after retirement no one is going to give me any post. Why? Because constitution itself debarred me from getting any post. So with whom I have to be? No one. So because of these three factors, the compromise, the Election Commission of India will be compromised. This is the flaws of independence of Election Commission. And these are the factors which are telling that Election Commission is independent. So we can expect questions like this. We can expect questions like this. So what are the factors which are ensuring independence of Election Commission? What are the factors which are not ensuring the independence of Election Commission of India? So what are the powers they have? Administrative power, advisory power, quasi-judicial power. What is that? I will be explaining in the coming. To determine the territorial areas of electoral constituencies throughout the country on the basis of the Delimitation Commission Act of Parliament. So administrative. This is a territorial constituency will be determined by the Election Commission, but on the recommendation of Delimitation Commission. So originally it is the Delimitation Commission which will be fixing the constituencies. It is originally the Delimitation Commission which will be fixing the constituencies. But based on the recommendations of the Delimitation Commission, the Election Commission will be making all the administrative systems. Means administrative function is done by Election Commission, number one. Number two, to prepare periodically revise electoral rolls. Electoral rolls, who is going to get the voter list, who is having the power to vote, will be done. Administrative work will be done by Election Commission. Third, to notify the dates and schedules of upcoming elections. Third. Fourth, to grant recognition to political parties and allot election symbols. To grant registration of political parties and symbols. Sometimes very famous symbols will be there. Like cycle is a symbol of Samajwadi Party, cycle is a symbol of Telugu Desam Party. When they go to the central government level, people will confuse whether this is Samajwadi Party or it is about Telugu Desam Party. So allocation of symbols is also very, very important. That allocation of symbols is done by Election Commission of India. Is done by Election Commission of India. To act as a court for settling disputes relating to granting of recognition to political parties and allotment of election symbols to them. This is very important. With respect to registration of political parties and allocating symbols to the political parties, only that much. Any dispute with respect to elections will be dealt by the High Court. Any dispute with respect to elections will be dealt by the High Court. Where directly we have to go to High Court, but not Election Commission. Election Commission will dealt in a quasi-judicial manner only with respect to registration of political parties and allocation of symbols. To act as a court for settling disputes, yes, means quasi-judicial powers. To appoint officers for inquiring into disputes relating to electoral arrangements. Electoral arrangement, not elections. Electoral arrangements. To determine the code of conduct, model code of conduct. At the time of election code will be there now. So that election code will be administered by the Election Commission. To advise the President on matters regarding disqualification of MPs. So who should be disqualified? It will be advised to the President by the Election Commission. Compulsory, advisory. To advise the Governor on matters regarding disqualification of members of state legislature. Election Commission will advise. To cancel polls in the event of rigging, booth capturing, etc. To cancel elections will be done by the Election Commission of India. To request the President or the Governor for requesting the staff necessary for conducting the elections. I want this much staff, then only I can conduct the election. They will ask the President and the Governor in the states. To supervise the machinery of the elections. The total supervision of the elections will be done by the Election Commission of India. To advise the President whether elections can be held in a state under President rule or not. Election Commission will do this work. Whether we can conduct elections or not. Where President's rule is imposed. The Election Commission's report is final and binding. Based upon the Election Commission report, The elections will be conducted in those places where president's rule is imposed. Where the president rule is imposed. To register political parties for the purpose of elections and grant them status of national or state party. So these are the functions. These are the functions of election commission. At state level, what will happen at the state level? At state level, election commission is assisted by the chief electoral officer. Again, I am telling you, at the state level, he is not independent. At state level, the agent of election commissioner, agent of central election commission is chief electoral officer. He is not independent body. He is not independent body. He will be working under the guidance of election commission. So at state level, election commission is assisted by the chief election officer, is appointed by the chief election commissioner in consultation with the state government. He is appointed by the chief election commissioner. At that time it is regional commissioner. Regional commissioner will be appointed by the president on the advice of chief election commissioner. Here chief electoral officer in the state. The chief electoral officer in the state will be appointed by the chief election commissioner after consultation with the state government, after consultation with the respective state government. Very, very important. There it was regional commissioner. There it was only regional commissioner. At state level it is chief electoral officer who will be appointed by the chief election commissioner on the advice of state government. Below this, at the district level, collector acts as a district returning officer, appoints a returning officer for every constituency in the district and presiding officer for every polling booth in the constituency. These are the major functions. These are the major functions of Election Commission of India. Compulsory in the prelims examination from the constitutional bodies and non-constitutional bodies, minimum 2 questions will come. From constitutional bodies, non-constitutional bodies. Constitutional bodies, non-constitutional bodies. Constitutional bodies are like Election Commission, Comptroller Auditor General of India, Union Public Service Commission, State Public Service Commission, Joint Public Service Commission, Attorney General of India, Advocate General of State. These all are called as constitutional bodies. Non-constitutional bodies are again 2 bodies. Non-constitutional bodies are 2 bodies. One is called as statutory body, other is called as executive body. Statutory bodies are those bodies which are appointed by a law, by a parliamentary procedure. And the next is the executive bodies. The next is executive bodies. Statutory bodies and the executive bodies. The statutory bodies are those bodies. The statutory bodies are those bodies which are formed by a parliamentary procedure. Like what? Like Central Information Commission, State Information Commission, Central Vigilance Commission. Now Central Bureau of Investigation is also called a statutory body. SEBI is a statutory body. RBI is a statutory body. IRDA is a statutory body. PFRDA is a statutory body. Executive body means who are not formed by a constitutional body, which are not formed by a statutory bodies are called as executive body. What is executive body? Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog is a executive body. So this is constitutional body. The constitutional bodies are supreme powerful. So there are some guiding principles of Election Commission. What is the guiding principle? Means to uphold the values enshrined in the Constitution, right to equality. Each and every person who is a citizen of India above 18 years age should vote. He should get a voter card and he should be in the electoral college list. Right to equality, indirectly it is called as. A constitutional right to vote is a constitutional right. Not a fundamental right, not a legal right. It's a constitutional right. Election Commission should enforce it. To conduct elections with highest standards of credibility. To conduct elections with highest standards of credibility. Whose duty? Election Commission's duty. To ensure participation of all the eligible citizens. Disabled are there. The election booth should be disabled friendly, so that the disabled can also come to the election booth and they can vote. It should provide all the facilities. It is the duty of the Election Commission. To promote awareness about the electoral process, to engage with political parties and all stakeholders, to to develop the human resources, to build quality infrastructure for smooth conduct of elections, to adopt technology like VVPAT we have, electronic voting machines we have. Election Commission adopted it. We have to adopt Election Commission. Now Election Commission is checking the social media as well. Technology, it is using technology. So these are all the guiding principles. These are all the guiding principles for conducting of elections to the Election Commission of India. So that's it.